My favorite memories of Robert are really on the streets of Boston, dealing with really hard situations, dealing with crisis situations. My other memories of Robert have to do with his mom and his family, because he's all about family and community.
Junior used to lead my aerobics class. And so the song that we often exercise to is he's a maniac on the floor. And Junior Lewis was a maniac on the floor, and I will always remember how he inspired me to keep my body moving, and he has not stopped since.
You know, he's a guy that I've really, you know, sort of modeled myself after. He's been a mentor to me, he's been a friend, and you know, I think he's one of the people who sort of has me working in the field that I'm in today. You know, he's one of those guys that you strive to be like.
He thinks he's the master barbecue chef. So I was over at his house, and he has these 2 barbecue grills in the back of the in his backyard. So we're there and we're chatting. He was Robert being Robert, you know, just dropping knowledge on folks. And so, you know, I was listening and taking it all in, and you know, the next thing I knew, I was barbecuing. And Robert, you know, when I've heard him talk about this story, was the evolution of our relationship, because he let me on the grill, but the real reality of it, Robert was burning the chicken. I was hungry.
When my dad would come home, and he still does it to this day, he has this thing where he says, "Who's the man?" So he walks in the house every day and will shout, like, no matter where anyone is in the house, and he'll just be like, "Who's the man?" And he won't stop until someone tells him, "You're the man."
Just a co-sign on that, I never yelled that he was the man. I never gave in.
I did.
I let her do that.
The women of the house did it,
So,
I guess.
For you people watching this right now, I didn't.
When I first met Robert, he hated me because of the fact that I met him during football practice. That was, we're trying out for JV team, and I had the white shoes on and the yellow pants and stuff like that, and he thought I was, like, you know, kind of arrogant and cocky and stuff, which I was, but, you know, and the thing is, I was like the old Joe Namath type of person. So I think he was didn't like me in the beginning because who I was, and when, you know, I was kind of confident and stuff like that. So, but as time went on, I was the quarterback in high school, and he was the running back. So we had to become friends, you know. So we became friends, and then we ended up playing football, baseball, and basketball for 4 years straight. So we were together almost every single day. So thank God I did like him, because my life would be miserable without, you know, next to him.
The experience of standing on a street with him in the wake of the Morning Star incident that so shocked Boston, and meeting with some young men that he knew, that he, along with Charlie Rose, had convened, and there with those young men and some other people from the community and some ministers, we're really trying to work out what to do going forward from there. And I remember standing there and saying, what a phenomenal thing this is, that members of our community who talk about each other and often talk at each other are finally talking to each other. And that's a reflection of the work, and I'd even call it the ministry, of Robert Lewis and many other fine people like him.
Well, people may not know this because we work together now, but my first real knowledge of Robert was as a baseball coach. And it's really kind of a funny story. My oldest boy, Matt, was playing for a Jamaica Plain All-Star team and played against an Astros team coached by Robert, and the Jamaica Plain team, my son's team, got absolutely pounded. But my son was a pretty good ball player, and after the game, Robert and I, you know, said hello. We knew each other a little bit then, but I wasn't aware of the whole baseball thing at that point. And he said, you know, I'd like to talk to your son about whether he might like to play for me in the summer. And which was kind of stunning, and I was very proud of my son, because it was such a good team. Had I been in his place, I would have had some questions about whether this was a good idea. And when Robert said, "You want to play for me?" my son said, "Yeah, I do." So that was really the beginning of what became a remarkable friendship, and ultimately led to are working together here at the foundation. But I might say I have a little problem that I really haven't talked to anybody about when it comes to Robert, and that is he's really a hero of mine. He's a hero of mine, but he works for me. So how do you supervise one of your heroes? I don't think I have the answer to that yet. And Robert needs adult supervision, you know, so I really feel like I should provide it, but it's a little bit daunting.
Robert's contribution to the community of Boston is immeasurable. It really is. When you think about what one, I believe one person can make a difference. Well, Robert has, made much more than a difference. He's changed tens of thousands of lives. He's been a unique bridge builder. Robert is one of the few people I know who is as comfortable in the neighborhood street corner as he is in the corporate boardroom. And more than that, he brings those worlds together. He's one of the few people in the city that actually gets people to interact who otherwise never would meet.
Robert has saved a lot of lives, a lot of communities. He's brought groups together who normally don't work together, whether it's young people, tenant organizations, the business community versus young people. He's brought a lot of people together to make significant changes in the city of Boston to make Boston a better place to live.
Robert is an international treasure who just happens to be living in the Boston area. He's born and bred here and has made an impact through his entire life, particularly on young people, particularly on communities that need help. He's a man of the people, and he is someone who has empowered more people than almost anybody in a short lifespan.
He's had such a huge impact in Boston, and I think, if anything, I think it's really been about the contributions that he's made to, children, youth, and families, particularly those who often get lost sort of in the shuffle, the voiceless, those that sort of need a whole lot of advocacy or some advocacy.
He has been able to expose powerful people of wealth and stature in this city to issues that they would have never been exposed to or been aware of if it wasn't for Robert. And Robert's not afraid to take the most powerful individuals who may lead sheltered lives and say, you know what, you need to see what's happening on the front lines of our community every day. And he will go into the cave at Bromley Heath and take somebody who has both the financial resources and the political capability and clout to heighten the issues in the community. And there aren't a lot of people who are willing to take that type of risk and chance, and Robert has done that throughout his career.
For me, Robert's most valuable contribution is really opening up the eyes of leaders in this community, from every segment of the community, particularly the business community, the professional community, to the fact that there is an inner city here, that there are people, as Kevin just pointed out, young people who need help, who have potential, and that potential can be actualized if you pay attention to them, if you give them the right educational tools, the right cultural tools to allow them to grow.
I'm totally with you, Joel, and it's all in that word potential, and that's what Robert is all about. Whether you go back to his days with the Street Workers program or now to Street Safe. I mean, it's all about helping kids realize their potential and helping the rest of our greater Boston community understand that that potential's there. I'm totally with you.
We were working out together, and I was telling him about with this event they're having for Robert, a junior, whatever. And he said, I love Robert. And I was like, I know why I love Robert, but why do you love Robert? I asked him, you know, and he said, his daughter's handicapped and she goes to a special school where she can't take care of herself and stuff, you know, and so Junior asked her, where does she go to school? And he goes, oh, she goes to school in Dorchester. So he said, what school? And so my friend Glenn said, oh, she goes to this school. He goes, oh, I know that school. He goes, I'm going to take time, I'll look on your daughter. So, you know, people say that but never really follow through, you know. So my friend Glenn said he went to the school like 3 days later. And when he walked in, the lady said, oh, your daughter had a special guest. And she's like, who? And he goes, oh, this guy, Robert Lewis. And so my friend really took it to heart that he really went out of his way.
He understands that periodically, progress doesn't come without discomfort. And he's willing to challenge people, to make people uncomfortable, to tell it like it is. But it's always with the most positive motivation.
He's brought people together. You know, Boston was a very segregated place when we were growing up, and that didn't matter to Robert. He wanted kids from East Boston to meet kids from Roxbury, and kids from the South End to meet kids from West Roxbury, and you know, we went through some racial stuff in East Boston growing up, and it was very, very heavy. But I believe because of that, though, Robert said that, you know, I'm not going to hate, I'm not going to fall back on that, but I'm just going to teach people how to love. So I think that's been his big impact in Boston.
Robert taught us how to persevere. When adversity comes along, to look at the challenges and how to overcome that, and how to set short-term goals, to do self-care, and to go back out into the streets and make a difference with young people, to continually to talk to them and not to give up.
Well, when you think about Robert, the most important thing is you can't just pick one event that will say that you can highlight Robert. Robert is like a collage, and he's just a ball of passion. He will sell you and market to you, but one thing that you will always know, the moments are like consistent, connecting the dots. He's sincere, he's passionate, and what I like about it is that every time I see him, he's the same. So he'll say, Darnell, come talk with me for a minute. Pull you to the side and say, this is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? And he's already mapped it out. He's going to convince you that your role in his movie makes sense. And when you walk away, yeah, man, I can do that. And so I think that Robert is the kind of guy that he brings people across multiple bridges to the same park. And once that we get to the park, everybody's having a blast because Robert brought us there.
I think, you know, he saw things in me that I didn't necessarily see in myself at that time. And you know, like he is with his sports, I think he's unabashedly vocal about what he believes and, you know, can inspire people to follow that just by his sheer will and passion.
I think Robert taught me that in order to create powerful social change, you had to create a broad constituency, and you needed to work with people at the street level as well as in the boardrooms to really create a message of change for this community, and Robert's never shied away from that. His strength is his relationship building and his tremendous ability to really connect with all people from all walks of life and different backgrounds.
Constantly challenging me and others around him. I've seen him do it time and time again. It's to think out of the box, and the conventional thinking isn't going to help solve the complicated issues that we have. So he's constantly reminding me of that.
They would bus students into the high school from Roxbury. He would befriend them. He would, between classes, talk to them and make them feel more comfortable at the high school. And he would encourage them to try out for football, basketball, baseball, whatever the sport, join the clubs, and they adored him. And he was our little ambassador.
You know, what Robert has shown me is that if you go into people's lives, if you go into the city, there are lots of misperceptions that a lot of people carry that actually keep kids in the city from excelling in ways that they otherwise could. And Robert has opened up my eyes and hundreds, probably thousands of people's eyes to that reality, and I think that's critical.
And for me, probably the lesson that I will always take with Robert is how one comes out of the circumstances that he did, you know, living in East Boston, in the projects, in the 70s, experiencing the things he did, and the ability to sort of rise above those experiences, to persevere, to find himself in an extraordinary position here at the Boston Foundation, helping to create a better place for everybody in Boston.
That Robert said to me many years ago that he wanted to talk to his sons about me and really trying to kind of share what I was doing in my life and maybe even my background with his sons as an inspiration for them. And I thought that was deep. As a dad, I now have followed Robert and tried to identify particularly black men that I could have my sons look up to and share stories about their struggle and their successes. So just being a good dad, and I think that model is what I'm trying to emulate for my children as well.
When I was in high school, I knew he was going to be a leader when he was elected vice president of the class of 1978, when Boston was at its height in racial tensions. And here's a black kid from East Boston with East Boston High School, a majority white school, and he was elected vice president. So I knew one day that Robert would be a leader.
Robert was a man when he was a kid, but he had to be a man. I mean, here's the guy who came and we moved from East Boston to the South End, and he started the South End Little League. This guy has kept kids out of prison. He's kept kids alive. He just did all this stuff when he was 13, 14. He was a camp counselor, and so he's really changed my life by being an inspiration. He's carried the load, and he's carried the load for a lot of people and communities over the years, and but it's never affected the way he's cared about me, he's cared about my siblings, he's cared about his family and my mom.
Robert, you have taught us by example that
leaders lead, no excuses. He's powerful.
Unstoppable.
Invincible.
Committed. He's winning. He's winning.
He's winning.
Impactful.
Courageous.
Transformational.
Joyous. Passion, charisma, and hugs.
genuine.
Brotherhood.
It's committed.
Loyal.
Family.
Hopeful.
He's just a great guy.
Pain in my ass.
Deep.
Powerful. Relentless, compassionate.
Love.
Sincere.
Braggadocious.
And caring.
He's a man of integrity.
just a good father.
He's the ultimate leader.
Loyal.
Dedicated.
Love.
I would say compassionate, passionate, and good looking.
Community.
He champions everyone.
He's a man with vision.
Inspirational.
Caring, I guess.
Love.
He's loud. He's really, really loud.
Robert is a man of faith and passion.
He's a great leader.
Tenacious.
Inspirational.
Focused.
Leadership.
Partner.
Friend.
Robert is one of the most articulate people I've met.
Faithfulness, integrity, loving his family.
Creativity, endurance, vision.
Great words.
Go hard, go home! Get it in! Get it in, buddy, get it in!
I'd say, Junior, thank you for the inspiration you've given me, the inspiration you've given the people I care about, all the kids on our baseball team, they all thank you.
I appreciate you being in my life. You've made me a better person.
Thank you for the good work you have done with the Boston Astros.
I just want to thank you for being there for me, being up a big brother.
Thank you, Robert Jr. Lewis. I am so blessed to have you in my life as a brother, as godfather to my son.
Robert, I want to thank you for leaving an indelible mark on my life, the city of Boston, and the United States as a whole.
Robert, I just want to thank you for being part of my family and for helping to raise my children and for being a true brother on this planet. I love you.
I just want to say thank you sincerely for being you. Thank you for the support that you've given me over the years, and thank you for the lifetime friendship that you've shown me.
Robert, I thank you for that God has given you to us as a gift.
Thank you so much for gracing us accordingly.
Thanks, Robert, for being a friend, for being a partner, for being someone who has pushed me to do things I might not have otherwise thought about doing.
Thank you so much for all that you do. Not just for the city that we all live in and share, but for the communities that we are also invested in.
I wanted to personally thank Robert for being that inspiration in times where it's been dark and where no inspiration can be seen.
Thank you for many years ago giving this young lady a chance at working with you.
Thank you for extending opportunities to you throughout the city.
Robert, first and foremost, I want to thank you for opening my eyes and enlightening me from the first day we met all the way through today.
Robert, thanks for all the work you've done. You're not done yet, man.
Thank you, Robert. I just love you, and you just mean everything to me. You've just been my friend forever, and hopefully forever and ever.
I guess I gotta say thank you because they're making me say thank you. But I'm not gonna say thank you to you because I don't know thank you for because I'm here wasting not wasting my time, but you know what I mean.
Thanks, Junior. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. And in many ways they haven't. Love you.
Robert, I want to say thank you personally for all you've done for me, your encouragement, your guidance, your counsel over the years.
Robert, on behalf of the Boston City Council and the people of Boston, I want to thank you for all the work that you do for our city, for your leadership and your commitment, especially to the youth of our city. Thank you, Robert.
I also want to thank you personally for being another person from the community who stayed true to the roots and really leverage all the resources you've had to give back to the community from which you came.
Robert, thank you for all that you do for the city. It's truly inspirational. You've been an inspiration to me. You're one of the reasons that I'm doing what I am now. So for that, thank you.
Robert, I want to thank you for all you've done for me, all you've done for the family, all you've done for the city, this country, the world. You're a wonderful, beautiful guy. You're a great brother. I wouldn't be where I am without you. Our family most certainly wouldn't be where they are without you. And so I got nothing but love for you. This is a fantastic tribute to you and well-deserved. And I just love you, man, and I wish you the best. And I hope you enjoy the night.
Thank you, Daddy. I love you, and I'm so happy that everyone is getting together to honor such a great man. I love you, and you the man.
Thank you for everything. Appreciate everything that you've done, everything that you will do, and
Okay, thank you.
Robert, I just want to thank you for everything you're doing for the foundation and for the city, and what our personal relationship means to me, the relationship you have with my sons, and I'm terribly sorry I can't be with you for this great occasion and very deserved recognition of your extraordinary accomplishments. But remember, there's a lot more to do.